1700 crore, your money, viewers, your money. At the cost of repeating myself, I am underlining that figure so that you understand what we are talking about. Gone in 6 seconds, washed away completely. And I want to open this up quickly. Dr. Dhananjay Giri, spokesperson of the BJP from Bihar, Tushar Gupta, senior editor, Swaraj, Karan Verma, author, political analyst, Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst, Lav Kumar Singh of the JDU, and Mr. Suman Kumar Malik, senior leader of the RJD, completes the panel. We are also taking your calls. Don't you deserve better? The numbers flashing at the screen, at the bottom of your screen. Pick up the phone, share your thoughts. Karan, 1700 crores. What does one do about this?
Oh, Pranesh, this is appalling. And come to think of it, this is not just an error. This is a crime in the sense that this was warned again and again. We saw what happened in December. In December, a bridge in Darbhanga fell down. Then in January, the same thing happened in Begusarai. And for this particular bridge, this was flagged by IIT Roorkee in its report. It clearly said that there was illegal mining that had happened at the riverbed and this structure needs to be put up all over again. But Tejashwi completely ignored it. It's one thing to make a mistake, one thing to be absolutely brazen about it and your greed take over it. So this is a case of clear corruption. And you know, when somebody says that at least lives are not lost, you have lost precious money of the exchequer. This is our taxpayers' money. You've repeated this time and again and it's a fact. It's time this dawned on people. Bihar today is notoriously famous, unfortunately, for bridges going down time and again. And this has been a trend post-April last year. Since then, there have been 5 bridges that have gone down. And compare that to UP, Pranesh. There are 1193 bridges that are under construction right now in UP. 575 of them have been completed in the last 6 years. Do you see even an iota of corruption or anything with regards to the solidity of the structure or anything? Mr. Nitin Gadkari, who is an expert, and everybody attests by the fact that Mr. Gadkari has an expertise in this field, he had said this last year, that it's time you build this structure all over again. This doesn't add up that a wind blew or a flood came and it went out. There is definitely corruption at the highest level on this and this needs to be investigated. And one more thing, Pranesh, Mr. Nitish Kumar was on record till yesterday saying that the railway minister must resign.
We'll talk about the corruption. We will talk about the corruption in detail, Karan. I am in no hurry. I am in no hurry tonight. We will talk about corruption and all other aspects. Let's first address the hypocrisy of the ecosystem. Tushar Gupta, do you remember the kind of commentary around the building of the Naya Sansad? Those people don't have a problem with this waste of 1700 crores.
You know, one could have discussed the structural integrity and the quality of the material used had this been an anomaly. But in Bihar, this is becoming a norm. You know, for long, Nitish Kumar has taken both his allies, RJD and BJP, for a ride. And doing that, he's taken the voters of Bihar, the citizens of Bihar, the future of Bihar for a ride. And now the voters need to ask themselves this question, that can they have a man as incompetent as Nitish Kumar at the helm of affairs? You know, the one thing that is striking about the collapse is not about the quality of the material used. That's, you know, very much in the open. But in 876 crore rupees, we've constructed a world-class parliament building, which the opposition attacked day in and day out since the pandemic. They were citing the use of funds. They were citing the allocation of funds for different programs, different schemes. In Bihar, bridges are collapsing one after the other. And no one talks about the allocation of funds. No one talks that how a bridge being built at a cost twice of the new parliament building is collapsing twice in 2 years. And the last time the argument was given that it's wind and fog. Now, if wind and fog are criteria for a bridge structural integrity, I'm sorry, we've not made much progress in terms of infrastructure in Bihar. Probably it's some other century. But Pranesh, the important question is this. Some days in Bihar, we read a news about 60 feet ton bridges getting stolen. Today we see about a collapse and Nitish Kumar says, oh, I'll order an inquiry, I'll do this, I'll do that. But there are no results. I'm not asking for Nitish Kumar's resignation like the ecosystem was doing for the last 4 days. I want accountability. I want accountability for the people of Bihar. Until when are they going to be abused by this depleted infrastructure? Until when the young generation of Bihar will suffer for the lack of infrastructure and consequently lack of economic opportunities?
And for how long will the country suffer the lopsided logic of this ecosystem that is staring at us? Tehseen, I'll come to you. Let me bring in our viewers. Raj Pillai joining us from Bengaluru. Sir, good evening. This is your channel. Go ahead.
Hi, good evening. I'm a civil engineer, so first I will talk the technical part of it. See, we all remember that famous demolition which happened in Noida, and any demolition of this size and magnitude to be done needs a lot of preparation, and especially if it is a structure which is built on the waterfront. Now, I fail to understand these politicians. I mean, there is a limit to telling lie from the teeth and taking public to public granted, that it was demolished. I mean, it was done a controlled demolition and the bridge was demolished because of IIT Roorkee's report. I mean, this is really the height. I mean, I think the Supreme Court should take a suo motu notice of this and take these people to the books. Because, and the second part is the political part. I mean, as somebody said just before, such a beautiful parliament structure was done, and all these parties, they criticized it. And when this kind of a mishap happens, why the other parties are not talking about it? Nobody will talk. Even the great leader who is in US talking against India, he will not talk about it.
Let's put that.
I feel ashamed. I feel ashamed which country.
I share your sentiments. I share your sentiments completely. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for connecting and sharing your thoughts, Mr. Pillai. Let me bring in Mr. Deshpande joining us from Bengaluru. Anil Deshpande, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Pranesh. Just I don't have any word to express my anguish. To be frank and very honest with you, Nitish Kumar government administration totally misadministration. That is the reason they called him as a second chief minister. There is no proof better than this.
Now, Tehseen, I just want you to take a principled stand on this. The commentary around the Naya Sansad and the silence of the ecosystem now.
Thank you, Pranesh, for having me on the show. At the onset, I want to make one comment of which I have a very strong objection from one of your viewers. Though I never disagree with viewers, they are the kings. If somebody feels ashamed to be a part of this great country, the greatest country in the world, we may have our differences, they are free to go anywhere else. Don't be ashamed of India. You can be ashamed of our politics. Don't do that on national TV. That's my opinion. It's my opinion. It's my opinion. I don't need it.
No, that's okay. But
I don't
you are reacting to someone's opinion. I'll tell you what's wrong in your opinion. You misunderstood the sentiment that he was trying to share.
I didn't. There's a way to speak about our country, and I don't like this about my country. You can say disagree with. I disagree.
Okay, let's get on with it, Tehseen. Okay, let's get on with it.
He's free to go wherever he wants. 225,000 Indians have been.
Please stop ridiculing the viewer, Tehseen. Please, I'm not going to have any of that. Please. No,
I'm not. I'm very clear on
not the viewer.
My country is the greatest country in the world. I will not have it insulted.
That's great. So don't go after the viewer. Address the problem here.
And the viewer should stick to criticizing politics.
The viewer has all the right. No, the viewer has all the right to be outraged about what's happening. I mean, just look at the pictures.
Should be outraged and call up Mr. Pillai and ask him that when Mr.
Now, Tehseen, we are not going to do that. So please now let's get on with it, please.
So allow me. So ask him when Mr. Modi's government's friends of the Ajanta Bridge, famous Ajanta Bridge, and for months, they were not arrested. The Morbi Bridge, people passed away. How many times were people ashamed of the country? People died in that. And I'm not justifying what happened in Bihar. Terrible. And Nitishji should answer. 2014, like Karan rightly said, this project was given. Tushar rightly said that there's been absolute structural faults. Tejashwi must answer. No disputing it. But when a bridge collapsed and more than 100 of our fellow citizens, and you led the fight, Pranesh, died. At that time, you're not embarrassed about the country. It is embarrassing that corruption.
Tehseen, let me 1 minute. Tehseen, this is not right. This is not fair. I usually don't interrupt you because you talk sense, but this is not right. I'm not going to allow you to go after the viewer. You have a problem with the people. Go hit the ground, understand the pulse. No, Mr. Pillai was calling us from Karnataka. The people of Karnataka voted the Congress to power, and then you're going after the people. Let's not do that. this is irresponsible commentary, Tehseen. I'm sorry to say,
great
I'm not
country.
going to allow this. If you have a problem with what people are
country.
saying, let them express their view. You
but
talk
not
about,
with
no,
the
you go after the BJP. You can call out their hypocrisy if you want to.
Not their hypocrisy. Everyone's hypocrisy has to be called out. The problem in our country, let's get to the solution to the problem. The problem in our country, whether it's the Congress or the BJP, whether it's Nitish ji with BJP or Nitish ji with Congress and Lalu ji, the problem is institutionalized corruption. It's been further institutionalized with the electoral bonds that have come in. You don't know who is funding which political party. I'm not getting into who's getting how much percentage. Today, we don't know where funding is coming out. A person from Haryana gets a contract. You don't know who are the agents he's in bed with, for use of a term. You don't know which are the political parties he's in bed with. You don't know how they are being funded. And all this corruption is now institutionalized retrospectively with both the FCRA amendments and with electoral bonds. It is time now for citizens to take their lives in their own hands. Whether it is this, whether it is in Gujarat, the fact of the matter is all these contractors, and your viewers know it, pay a commission to every political party, and they are political party agnostic. How do we bring in a system of transparency? How do we bring in a system where political parties are accountable to we the people, where their money that comes into the system is accountable? How they get it? The lobbyists, who are the lobbyists? How do they get this money? That is the solution to the problem. Till you don't get it, you will outrage at another bridge collapsing. You will outrage at a train track that goes wrong. People will continue to die. I don't want the Honorable Rail Minister's resignation. I don't want Nitish's resignation. But how long will we not be accountable? In the rail accident, you had a report in 2018, you didn't discuss it. You had this report, as Karan rightly put it, twice put over. You didn't discuss it. How long will people continue to suffer? That's the question, and corruption be institutionalized. And this is the greatest country in the world. I will not take this country to be called, they're ashamed of this country. No, we are not ashamed of the country. We're ashamed of the people, the politicians.
Don't be ashamed of the people. Or the people make the country. No,
the
please.
Politicians.
The politicians. Yeah, there are several examples. You know, people go abroad and, you know, go after the country, abuse India, berate Bharat. You know, I'm not taking names.
We're not making it political.
No, yeah, great. Let me bring in our viewers. Karan, I'll come back to you. There are others also, representatives of the JDU and RJD, waiting to answer, and I have straight questions for them. But let's hear from our viewers. Vinay Shankar now joining us from Faridabad. Sir, good evening. Go ahead.
गुड इवनिंग सर. मेरा जनता दल यूनाइटेड के नेता से ये पूछना है कि श्री नीतीश कुमार जो एक ब्रिज की कंस्ट्रक्शन को मैनेज नहीं कर सकते हैं, एंड ही इज ड्रीमिंग फॉर द बीइंग अ प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया.
वो सवाल हम उनसे पूछेंगे. थैंक यू. अब मैं इस सवाल पूछूंगा. हमारे एक और व्यूअर हैं, सिल्वी सिंह फ्रॉम दिल्ली. प्लीज गो अहेड.
Thank you, Pranesh. This is atrocious and audacious of the politicians. And I can't believe.
The audio line missing, I'm afraid, is bad, but I understand what you're trying to say. Obviously, this has also hit you hard. Manbir joining us from Guwahati. Mr. Mandeep is on the line from Guwahati. Sir, good evening.
या गुड इवनिंग प्रणेश. मेरा बहुत सिंपल है, बिकॉज आई हैव बीन लिसनिंग एंड सभी बोलेंगे अभी जो भी बोलना है. तहसीन एज गुड एज विच इज थिएट्रिक्स एंड रेटोरिक्स ऑलवेज. मेरा सवाल सिर्फ ये आरजेडी के जो हैं और जेडीयू के जो हैं, ठीक है ना, 1700 करोड़ की हमारी टैक्स पेयर की पैसे हैं. सुप्रीम कोर्ट सो मोटो कॉग्निजेंस ले और ये 1700 करोड़ रुपए जो दल है, शासक दल, उनसे वसूल किया जाए और जो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर है उनसे. सिंपल.
Thank you, and that's the point. Where will the money come from? Who will pay us back? Krishna is joining us from Hyderabad. Sir, good evening.
Yeah, hi. Just I'm hearing Mr. Tehseen and emotions, and also I'm seeing next to them, next to Tehseen, the people from JDU, and they have got shamelessly saying the leader. IIT Roorkee की वजह से हमने तोड़ दिया and all those stuff. But what is the accountability? Bihar, it has gone such a, and today simply comes 1770 crores. Money is gone, and it's a simple word saying that like IIT Roorkee came and हमने उसको तोड़ दिया, and the chief minister has to come and lousy things saying that like, and it is a 9-year-old project, 1770 crores. And there is zero accountability that can be seen here.
Absolutely. Zero accountability. Mr. G.D. Gupta now joining us from Haryana. Sir, good evening. Go ahead.
Good evening. This is G.D. Gupta. I am an engineer and lawyer by profession. I have 35 years of engineering services and been 20 years in the bar, High Court. So I know all these technical legal matters. And what I see in the collapse of which is really shame on the fraternity of engineers and the people who are managing them. See the kind of mega project across river Ganga, and taking so much of time and going in such a careless way that there is this rupturing or collapsing again and again, and I don't know what's going on behind it.
What's going on? I have the same question, sir. What's going on? Mr. Sridhar now joining us from Mumbai. Sir, good evening. This is Times Now, your channel. Go ahead.
Sridhar from Mumbai. I think Tehseen Poonawala should do some studies before making any comment. He always comes on the channels and gives rhetoric comments, and a brainless idiot that he is.
No, let's be civil, sir, please. Mr. Sridhar, let's be civil. Let's be responsible in our commentary, please. No getting personal, no cuss words, no abusing each other. Sir, you can make your point, you can take him on facts, but I understand people are angry, sir, but we should measure what we are saying. Mr. Desai is now on the line from Hyderabad. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Pranesh, I was listening. I'm voracious viewer of this channel, and I am aghast at the way Mr. Tehseen is speaking about the person who called from Bengaluru, Mr. Pillai. He should check his facts. He should be civil, and he should stick to the topic. That's the problem. Every time he talks about everything, he revolves around Modi only, BJP only. Why is it so? It should be technical. It should be good. It should be civility. It should be there in the talking, please. That's not correct.
Right. Thank you, sir, for connecting, sharing your thoughts. I'll bring in our viewers again, but let me turn to Lav Kumar Singh, leader of the JDU. Lav Kumar Singh, आपको याद है जब नया संसद बन रहा था तो आपके नेता ने क्या कहा था कि क्या जरूरत है नई संसद की, पुराना बिल्डिंग ठीक चल रहा है, ये 1700 करोड़ पानी में डूब गए सर, कौन देगा ये पैसे वापस?
प्रणेश जी पानी में नहीं डूबेंगे, जिसकी भी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होगी वो पैसे वापस देंगे, इसमें कहीं से कोई दो मत नहीं है। जो कंपनी है उससे वसूल किया जाएगा, इसमें बिहार सरकार इसको छोड़ने वाले नहीं है। और माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने बड़े ही स्पष्ट शब्दों में कहा है कि बिहार सरकार के तरफ से जो बिहार के लोगों का पैसा है उसमें एक पैसा भी जाया नहीं होगा।
नहीं, लव कुमार सिंह जी, मैं आपको बता देता हूं इसमें दिक्कत क्या है। दिक्कत बहुत ही वेरी सिंपली इज दिस, आपके जो उप मुख्यमंत्री हैं, डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर तेजस्वी यादव, वो कह रहे हैं कि देखिए ये तो हम गिराने वाले थे, मुख्यमंत्री कह रहे हैं कैसे गिर गया इसकी जांच करो। तो पहले आप लोग मन बना लीजिए कि है क्या, ये गिराने वाले थे, गिर गया, या ये अपने आप से नीचे आ गया?
प्रणेश जी, जब अप्रैल 22 में पहली बार इस ब्रिज का हिस्सा कुछ गिरा था तो जांच उसी समय IIT रूड़की से कराई जा रही थी, और रूड़की से जांच के रिपोर्ट अभी आने वाले हैं, 2-4 दिनों में आ भी जाएंगे। और उस जांच के रिपोर्ट के अनुसार जब बीच में 5वां पिलर की बात हुई थी तो उसको ध्वस्त भी किया गया था, तोड़ा भी गया था। इसके डिजाइनिंग में कोई फॉल्ट है, इस बात की जैसे ही प्रथम दृष्टया जानकारी मिली तो निश्चित तौर पर अगर डिजाइनिंग में फॉल्ट है तो बिहार सरकार मानव जीवन के साथ खिलवाड़ करने वाली सरकार नहीं है, कितना भी हो।
डिजाइनिंग, अब आप देखिए, अब IIT रूड़की को अब आप ब्लेम कर रहे, डिजाइनिंग में इतना, अब रिपोर्ट क्या आएगी? अब तो रिपोर्ट उनको बोल दीजिए कि अब रिपोर्ट हमसे देरी हो गई, अब क्या बनाएंगे, फिर उस पर इंप्लीमेंट करेंगे। तुषार आपसे कुछ कहना चाहते हैं?
बिल्कुल, फिर से बनाया। मेरा जवाब सुन लीजिए प्रणेश जी, हमने SP सिंगला को दिया था और उस कंपनी से एक पैसा
आपने तो दिया था, लेकिन मॉनिटरिंग बट लव कुमार जी, मुझे ये बताइए कि अगर आपने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किसी को दे दिया, फिर आप ये थोड़ी बोल सकते हैं कि वो उनकी जिम्मेदारी है। सरकार क्या कह रही थी? बस सरकार का, लव कुमार जी, सरकार को भी तो देखना चाहिए था, दूसरी बार गिर गया ये।
प्रणेश,
तुषार गुप्ता कुछ कहना चाहते हैं आपसे, सुन लीजिए। अब
सदन में डिसाइड किया था सरकार ने कि जब
यस तुषार, मेक योर पॉइंट। मैं आ रहा हूं लव कुमार जी, उनसे एक सवाल ले लेता हूं।
बोलने दीजिए प्रणेश। लेट्स गिव द government of Bihar under Nitish Kumar the benefit of doubt. Let's give them, for the sake of argument, the benefit of doubt. Let's say that Tejashwi Yadav was right when he said that the bridge was indeed destined for this, for to be taken down because it had a structural integrity problem. So I have two questions. If the bridge was indeed marked, why was it not taken down so far? Why was not the entire taking down done so far? Why? What were they waiting for? Lives could have been lost because of that bridge. Now we are being told by the deputy CM of Bihar that हमें पता था कि ब्रिज में कमजोरी है कि वो गिर सकता है. हम तो इंतजार कर रहे थे कि कब वो गिरेगा, फिर हम मीडिया वालों को बताएंगे अरे तो गिरने ही वाला था, हम ही इसको तोड़ने वाले थे. हम तो इंतजार कर रहे थे. तो एक तो आप गलत कंपनी को कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दे रहे हैं, आप कह रहे हैं कि पैसा देकर आपकी जिम्मेदारी खत्म हो गई, और उसके बाद ये जानते हुए कि उस ब्रिज को गिराना है क्योंकि वो सही से नहीं बना, आप लोगों की जान खतरे में डाल रहे हैं. इट्स वेरी वेरी फॉर्चुनेट दैट नो लाइव्स वर लॉस्ट ऑन बिहार, बट देन hasn't the government of Bihar risked the people's lives when they say that the bridge was indeed weak, it had to be taken down, but they had not taken it down? That's my question, Pranesh.
No, I know what his answer will be. He will say, अब ये जांच का विषय है. Karan also wants to make a point. Karan, quickly.
प्रेस जी,
मैं आ रहा हूँ. लव कुमार जी, एक और सवाल ले लेते हैं, फिर आप दोनों का जवाब साथ दे दीजिएगा.
लव कुमार जी ने एक सेकंड लव कुमार जी ने सब कुछ गलत बताया, मैं अभी बता देता हूं आपको. इन्हीं के एमएलए हैं ललित नारायण मंडल. ही इज ऑन रिकॉर्ड, एमएलए फ्रॉम जेडीयू, सेइंग दैट दे आर नॉट लिसनिंग टू मी, दिस स्ट्रक्चर इज नॉट राइट, एज पर द आईआईटी रुड़की रिपोर्ट दिस नीड्स टू बी टेकन डाउन. एंड तेजस्वी यादव rubbished what Mr. Lalit Narayan Mandal said and said no, we are making some arrangements to some pillars but we will continue with the same structure. So the IIT Roorkee report has been out. Tejashwi is on record saying that we will work it out without taking down the entire structure, despite warnings by the MLA Lalit Narayan Mandal. So sir, please don't fool the people. Today every information is available in public domain. Your government has been extremely careless about it. And Pranesh, just compare it to our Sansad. 862 crores. In that we have state of the art, not just the civil structure, entire audio structure, video structure, parkings, multiple facilities, libraries, amenities, and they approach the courts on trivial grounds that this is expensive, environmental concerns, change in the drawing master plan. I mean, look at their hypocrisy today.
Let's put that to Mr. Malik of the RJD. Suman Kumar Malik ji, आपने कुछ विचार सुने, लोगों के भी विचार सुने, और कुछ और हमारे जो दर्शक हैं वो लाइन पे हैं. मैं एक दो उनसे भी ले लेता हूं सवाल, फिर आपके पास आता हूं. मिस्टर रामचंद्रन हैज बीन पेशेंटली होल्डिंग ऑन टू द लाइन. सर, यू आर कॉलिंग फ्रॉम चेन्नई, प्लीज गो अहेड.
Hello, can I?
Yes sir, please. Good evening.
Yeah, Pranesh, first to you. What I see on the TV is 1,700 crore gone to waste, and by the side I see the temple of democracy. You made a mistake. You should not have both of them side by side. They are not comparable. Second, I want to say something to the panelists. The two guys on the lower half, JDU and RGD, you should not be having them on your debate at all. There is no debate. They just talk nonsense. And for Tehseen Poonawala, my heart goes to him. He is totally defending the indefensible, and probably he has a job to do it. Best wishes to all of you. Please remove the Sansar questioned half video from your screen. Please do it.
I understand, sir. I understand. Thank you for your thoughts. The only reason we've put it so that we can bring out the contrast and so that people understand the gravity of the situation and the kind of money involved here. 1,700 crore washed away in 16 seconds. Mr. Srirath calling us from Bengaluru, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Can I tell my opinion now?
Sure, sir. Please.
Okay. See, I saw the Deputy Chief Minister talking about Roorkee report. In all this, Roorkee is one of the finest institute. In this, they should not be made the scapegoat. That report will be very fine, but they should not be, become a scapegoat because of putting a blame on them. Their image should not go down. That is my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Raghunath now joining us from Hyderabad, sir. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, Pranesh. This is Ramana here, not Raghunath.
Sorry,
Ramana
sir.
from Hyderabad. No, that's fine. See, one funny thing is, we as citizens of India are used for freebies, right? Why are we not treating this as a freebie to somebody else? We are used for freebies. We sold our votes for a cup of tea, for milk, for vegetables, for everything. So this is another form of freebie to bigger people. That's all. So why are we even getting worried on this? We should not get worried at all. As long as the freebies system continues, as Tehseen said, we have no right to ask any question to anybody, because we ourselves are corrupted. Where is the question of corruption? Corruption is always there throughout India with everybody. So I don't think that any citizen of India has any right to ask these kind of questions to anybody, because we are all corrupted by ourselves.
Right. That's the larger point. I understand that completely. Respect your point of view. Mr. Himadri Ganguly now joining us from Kolkata. Please go ahead.
Sir, I have one solution. We have to go the Taliban way or the Muslim way. Give the Sharia law. Give one thing, to do something, get something else. You have to give us back the money. This or whatever, some limb going, some good thing, something has to be done. These guys are going too far, whether it's from the Congress or from the BJP. They all are...
Yeah, it's not about the political parties. It's about the political class in general that needs to be more accountable to the people. Tehseen, I'll come back to you. S.N. Jha joining us from Lucknow. Sir, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. I have a few points to add, not political in nature, rather technical, I can say. There is something very seriously wrong in Bihar. If you see, this bridge, one span collapsed in April last year. Another bridge collapsed that is at Buri Gandak, Begusarai. And now this has happened. So there is something very seriously wrong here. And we are looking at 1,700 crore. But we are missing the fact that this river Ganga has been, tons of debris lying inside Ganga river, which is very difficult to remove. This is an incalculable damage done to the environment, to our holy mother river Ganga.
I understand.
So we are totally ignorant of this.
Thank you, Mr. Jha, for connecting, sharing your thoughts. Malik साहब, आप जवाब देना चाहेंगे जो सवाल जो लोग पूछ रहे हैं, ये 1700 करोड़ का ब्रिज दूसरी बार टूट जाता है 14 महीने में, किसकी जिम्मेदारी है ये?
देखिए, सबसे पहले तो प्रणेश जी, इस तरह की जो घटना घटी है वो बड़ी दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है और बड़ी चिंता की बात है। सरकार किसी की हो ये अलग बात है, लेकिन इस तरह की घटना घटती है तो जान माल के प्रति बहुत बड़ा जो है प्रश्न चिन्ह पैदा होता है और मैं इसके लिए बहुत ही जो मैं समझता हूँ कि ये चिंतनीय है। और जहां तक पैसे की बात है तो हमारे मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार जी ने आज प्रेस के सामने उन्होंने कहा है कि जो भी पैसा लगा है अब इस एजेंसी को देना होगा। राज्य सरकार उस पर पूरी कड़ाई से उस पर कठोर कार्रवाई करेगी और जो पैसे पूल में लगे हैं खुद एजेंसी के द्वारा वसूला जाएगा और फिर सही तरीके से इसको बनवाया जाएगा।
नहीं तो यही जवाब है कि पैसे हम वसूलेंगे। ये गिर कैसे जाता है 14 महीने में? जब पहली बार गिरा उसके बाद दूसरी बार
संदेह। प्रणेश जी, ये बहुत दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण बात है। मैं एक आम पॉलिटिकल ऑफिसर इसका बचाव नहीं करूंगा, मैं इसका बचाव नहीं करूंगा। मैं बाकी पॉलिटिशियन की तरह दलील पर दलील नहीं देने वालों में से हूँ।
अच्छा है, मैं स्वागत करता हूँ आप जो कह रहे हैं मलिक साहब, स्वागत करता हूँ, लेकिन आप देखिए चल क्या रहा है। तेजस्वी यादव कुछ और बोलते हैं, नीतीश कुमार कुछ और बोलते हैं, तो ये जनता को तो बेवकूफ बनाया जा रहा है।
पंडित जी देखिए ना, नीतीश जी ने कहा कि एक बार पहले भी गिर गया था पुल का, तो हमने कहा था कि क्या हो रहा है, ये गलत हो रहा है। जब दूसरी बार भी गिर गई है तो साबित होता है कि कहीं न कहीं कुछ गलत था, तो उन्होंने भी यही कहा।
आपके मैं एक बात बता देता हूं, देखिए जो तेजस्वी जी के जो भाई हैं तेज प्रताप, उन्होंने कहा ये पुल हमने बनाया, बीजेपी ने गिरा है। डॉक्टर धनंजय गिरी, तेज प्रताप ये कह रहे हैं कि बीजेपी ने गिरा दिया, 1700 करोड़ बहा दिया।
नहीं, देखिए मुद्दा है पुल गिरा, उस पर हम लोग बात करें ज्यादा अच्छा रहेगा, क्योंकि
आपके बड़े नेता है, मैं तो उन्हीं की बात कर रहा हूं। धनंजय गिरी कमिंग इन, डॉक्टर गिरी।
लेकिन
प्रणेश जी, मैं सुना नहीं आपको, I didn't listen, please repeat it.
Tej Pratap Yadav says that the BJP is behind this. बीजेपी ने पुल गिरा दिया, हमने बनाया था.
See, whatever Tej Pratap speak, he understand. The situation of Bihar is so pathetic. So Nitish is saying something different and the deputy CM is saying something different. So you can understand, corruption is paid by poor, and the Bihar government is continuously talking about poor, but they are enjoying with the corruption money. Collapse of bridge raises a big question mark on Nitish's vision and action. He is bridging the opposition of India and bridging bridges are continuously collapsing in the state. This is the 7th collapse in the state. In 1 year time, 7 bridges collapse in the Bihar. It is not fall of bridge. Say, bridge fall down in the river of Ganga. But it shows how the corruption river is floating in the Nitish Kumar government. Collapse of bridge is a part and parcel of Nitish government. See, if you see in Bihar, continuously this type of things is going on. And what, if it's fallen in second time, when the report already came, after that a huge money paid to the company, when they are knowing that it has to be broken down.
Right.
Then against who is praised? So some hand in gloves are there.
Hand in gloves, accountability must be fixed. Karan, I'll get you in. Tehseen Poonawala has been wanting to make a point. Tehseen, quickly.
Pranesh,
I agree with one of your viewers when he said that don't put the parliament and this bridge collapse side by side. Put this bridge collapse along with the Ajanta company constructed Morbi bridge collapse. The fact is, and I'm going back to what I'm saying, the solution is not what one of your viewers said, which I disagree with, Taliban solutions or throwing out democracy. The solution is more democracy, more transparency, more clearance. Whether it is any political party, we need to strengthen systems from where money is coming in, going out. I'm just going to end with one example. Let's go back to the rail bridge, to the rail accident few days ago. I'm not blaming the union government, but there were two train accidents prior to that. One near miss. Please, don't talk in between. Now, Dr. Giri.
Let him make his point. Tushar, I'll come back to you. Dr. Giri, मैं आपके पास भी आऊंगा. उनको बोलने दीजिए. जो point है.
There's a CAG report. There's
third time, no? He should know what is the agenda today.
I understand. Let him make his point. वो जो बोलना चाहते हैं वो बोलने दीजिए.
There was a CAG report. There was a near fatal accident. And there was an accident. Now, even here, there was an accident previously. What we have to lose across governments. I'm not blaming the BJP. I'm making a sensible
we
point.
know what needs to be done. All I began by asking you is that contrast this with a commentary around the Naya Sansad. You went after the viewer.
Forget the Sansad. Talk about the Morbi bridge, the rail collapse in this. Talk about where there has been destruction. There's commonality. Something's gone right. Congratulations. We congratulate the Prime Minister for that. But there have been things gone wrong under the government. Either government, whichever government. Let's talk about where things have gone wrong. There's a commonality. Corruption. There's a commonality. Hand in glove with politician. There's a commonality not looking at technical reports.
Okay.
We have to talk about those
Dr. Giri wants to come in. Dr. Giri, 30 seconds. Tushar, coming to you.
See, what is the hypocrisy? One very old bridge and one new construction of bridge is going on. And it looks similar. How it looks similar, my dear?
Morbi was a new bridge.
There are some people having problem with the part of ecosystem.
No. What happened in Morbi? Dr. Giri, 1 minute. No. 1 minute. Let's be responsible, Dr. Giri. Don't wash your hands off from what happened in Morbi. But, let's not call it new bridge, old bridge. If a bridge is there, if it's not safe, you shut it down. या आप खुद ही गिरा दीजिए. Don't call it old bridge, new bridge. Let's not get into that. Tushar, I just have a few viewers to, take. Mr. Ajay joining us from Kottayam, sir. Good evening.
Good evening to you. Is it audible?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Yeah. My simple question to all the panelists and even to the viewers: who is accountable for this mistake?
Right.
Or is it a deliberate mistake?
Straight question. Who is accountable? Ask Mr. Ajay from Kottayam. Mr. Gupta from New Delhi. Sir, good evening.
Good evening, Pranesh. I have two observations. One of erudite speaker. He was not at all charitable, condemning or criticizing Mr. Pillai, a viewer. I think if he feels or his mentors feel that there is no democracy or all institutions are collapsing, what would be his advice to them?
Right.
That is one. Second, what do we expect from a party who's involved in Chara Ghotala? The scope in bridge was much higher. So what do we expect?
Okay, Mr. Shiv Kumar now joining us from Mysuru, sir. This is Times Now, your channel. Go ahead.
Good evening, Pranesh. I just want to say that it is a significant proof to show that the common people are being taken for a ride by the politicians. And I want to just add, some of your panelists have dearth of thoughts and diarrhea of expression. They don't know what they are speaking. Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Chandra Mohan joining us from Bengaluru, sir. Good evening. Mr. Mohan, if you can hear me, sir, please. All right. Karan Verma, quickly make your point, then we'll move on.
You know, Tehseen made a point about the commonality. Tehseen, where is your sense of proportion in this? In the railway case, we still don't know where the human error happened, but we know there wasn't a clear case of corruption or something. Here we have a clear brazen case of corruption which was flagged many times. So why don't you take on the JDU and say that this is corruption and he should, perhaps the minister in charge should step down. In other cases, we know there could have been lapses, there are under investigation. Here we know this is corruption, and that too brazen of the dirtiest level. So I think you should show your sense of proportion here and criticize the JDU government for what
but
it
Karan,
is.
how are you so sure? Karan, how are you so sure that this is not a human error? Now, Mr. Malik of the RJD and Love Kumar Singh, ये कहेंगे कि human error इसमें भी हो सकता है. Foundation ही नहीं बनाया, सीधा ब्रिज बना दिया.
Answer Karan, he's right. Karan's right.
Foundation बनाना भूल गए. Human error है, foundation नहीं बनाया ब्रिज का, ब्रिज गिर गया. तुषार.
प्रणेश जी, कहीं न कहीं कुछ खामी तो रही होगी, तब तो गिरा. हम तो खुद स्वीकार रहे हैं, लेकिन हमारी सरकार विकास की सरकार है और
विकास तो दिख रहा है. मलिक साहब, विकास तो देखिए, विकास उधर है. 6 सेकंड में देखिए विकास, सुशासन, और अगर कुछ बोलना चाहते हो कि वो सब दिख रहा है. तुषार.
Pranesh, there are 540 odd Lok Sabha constituencies in this country today, BJP and non-BJP. Today it is hard to find a constituency where some infrastructural undertaking is not happening. You have freight corridors, you have Vande Bharats, you have rural electrification, you have Gram Sadak, you have so many projects. At 17,000 feet in Ladakh, the BRO is engaging in infrastructural work, and there will be setbacks. Be it a BJP government, be it a Congress government, there will be setbacks. My problem is that if you want to compare Bihar and Gujarat, compare the frequency of bridge collapse and other accidents also. In Bihar earlier this year, Vande Bharat was pelted with stones. Since you want to talk about Gujarat, do you see such instances there? We have thousands of infrastructural undertakings across the country, state and center and what not. People are trying, but my problem with Bihar's leader is that when other states, be it the Congress or the BJP, are at the quantum computing level, to give an analogy in terms of infrastructure, the leaders of Bihar are struggling to write a C program. They can't even get the basics right. How will they compete with the rest of the country? How will the state compete with the rest of the states when it comes to driving an investment, when it comes to creating unemployment, when it comes to eradicating unemployment?
The last word on this debate to Tehseen. Tehseen, 30 seconds, then we move on to the next topic.
Without politicizing it, no.
Tushar, let him answer on the larger point you raised.
Two quick points. Tushar is right, but majority of those years is BJP was in government with Nitish Ji. So I agree, the BJP has always done a bad job. That I agree. But I agree with Karan more importantly. I'm not saying that in the railways accident was corruption. I'm saying they overlooked 2 reports that said that there were previous accidents that needed to be disposed. And
we move on. We just hope that the action happens swiftly, and that 1700 crores, 17 and 9 zeros is recovered. Because it is your money, our money, taxpayers' money. Let's shift our attention, tell you what's happening in Karnataka.